imagine waking up tomorrow, right? And finding out you've just been handed this massive, high-stakes corporate logistics job.
Oh, wow. Sounds incredibly stressful.
Yeah. And you have absolutely zero training, a huge budget, and your stakeholders are, well, heavily emotionally invested family members. That is traditional wedding planning. But today we are taking a deep dive into how that dynamic is completely shifting.
Right. It's a totally different landscape now.
Exactly. We're looking at some fascinating niche guidance from the business and planning section of Weddizer, specifically about using AI tools for event logistics. So, okay, let's unpack this, because we are moving way beyond basic chatbots here.
We really are. It's a massive shift in how we approach project management. I mean, it all really starts with the schedule.
Right, the absolute backbone of any event.
Yeah, because the human brain just isn't built to run these continuous constraint satisfaction algorithms. And that is basically what building a solid event timeline requires.
I mean, plotting a wedding timeline is kind of like playing this incredibly high-stakes game of Jenga.
Oh, absolutely. One wrong move and it's over.
Yeah. You've got, say, an 8 a.m. hair and makeup start time, and that has to flow seamlessly all the way to a 10 p.m. send-off. But if you pull out just one piece, like maybe your photographer arrives late for a 10:30 a.m. slot, the whole tower collapses. Humans are just notoriously bad at recalculating those cascading delays on the fly.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that is exactly how automated timelines eliminate that day of stress. When an AI builds a schedule based on your parameters, it isn't just writing down a static list of times. It's actively plotting variables.
Wait, so it maps out all the connections?
Yes, exactly. It maps the exact dependencies between the ceremony time, the reception duration, hair and makeup, and all those complex transit logistics. So if that photographer is 20 minutes late, the AI just instantly recalculates the buffer times.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it adjusts the caterer's prep time and the DJ's setup before anyone even has a chance to panic about it. It just restabilizes the Jenga tower for you.
But, okay, I do have to offer a slight pushback here. Because once that timeline is perfectly structured, you still have to actually book the human professionals to fill those time slots.
Right, the actual vendors.
Yeah, and according to the Weddizer articles, AI is stepping in to generate those vendor emails too, right? Asking for pricing and contracts and availability for, like, a June 15th, 2026 wedding.
Yeah, that's exactly what these tools are doing now.
But won't an AI-generated email sound way too robotic? I mean, if I'm a highly creative fine art photographer or a bespoke florist, I feel like a robotic template would just alienate me.
I totally get that. It's a really valid instinct to want to protect that human connection. But the goal here isn't to mimic a casual chat. It's about establishing absolute clarity.
So it's less about pretending to be a human and more about giving them a flawless spec sheet.
Precisely. It strips out all that conversational fluff that usually leads to major misunderstandings. The AI ensures every single constraint like venue rules or exact arrival times is laid out in a highly professional structure.
Right, so you're giving the creative professionals the exact dimensions of the sandbox they're playing in. That way they don't accidentally knock over the timeline later on.
Exactly. You lock in those expectations right up front. But, even when the vendors are locked in and the timeline is mathematically sound, you still have to deal with the most unpredictable variable of all.
Oh, I know this one. The guests.
Yes, the ultimate threat to the logistics tower.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because after sorting out when things happen and who is hired, tackling the social logistics is an absolute emotional minefield.
It really is. Figuring out who traditionally gets invited to the rehearsal dinner or handling those random +1 requests, even just navigating proper vendor tipping can be so stressful.
Yeah, it's just so messy and emotional. But a machine can navigate that.
Well, this is where the underlying tech of a large language model really shines. An LLM doesn't feel guilt. When you ask it how to firmly word an RSCP deadline or reject a +1, it just pattern matches against thousands of historical etiquette guides.
That is such a good point. It acts as this completely impartial rulebook.
Right. It synthesizes formal, semi-formal, or modern traditions
Yeah.
instantly to find the most effective phrasing.
You aren't agonizing over wording at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
You just let the AI find the most polite, emotionally detached way to say no.
Yeah.
It removes the friction completely.
It really does.
And looking at these sources, this shift toward AI logistics is only accelerating, right? We're heading toward virtual venue walkthroughs, automated budget management, even AI-generated seating charts.
Oh, absolutely. The capabilities are expanding incredibly fast.
So, what does this all mean? Well, for you, the listener, whether you are utilizing the guidance on Weddizer or just organizing any massive project, you don't have to be the sole logistical shock absorber. These tools exist to give you your time and sanity back.
They really do. And, this raises an important question. If AI is getting this incredibly good at perfectly optimizing the logistics, the budgets, and even navigating the interpersonal drama of an event, how long until an AI model starts predicting the success rate of the marriage itself, based entirely on the couple's planning data?